morning. It's a beautiful day here in Tennessee. It's early morning. The sun has just come up, and so it's not intolerable here yet. We're in the middle of the summer, and summer means humidity and heat. I don't do well in either one of them, so I like to look at summer through the windows. And early morning, and this is a great time to be outside. Well, we have a great question today. Dear Pastor Bob, there are many prophets and ministers out there who will warn us of things such as food shortages. They also say there are going to be cell phone outages, possible earthquakes, natural disasters, and other things. They will even say when these things are supposed to happen, how long they are supposed to last, and what we need to do to be prepared. They warn us to stock up in advance. They will say to not have anything that could fall off high shelves in the event of earthquakes. But the predicted time of these things comes and goes, and nothing bad happens. We end up getting worked up over nothing. Do you have any thoughts on this? And are ministers overstepping their spiritual authority with this stuff? It seems to generate a lot of fear and less trust in God. Well, I understand, and I think that people have made quote-unquote prophetic announcements and predictions that have not come true, and obviously there have been a lot of them, and people fall for it every time. And why do we fall for it? Because we do see that there is a pattern of things, and not everything is okay. So the Bible tells us to be aware. And I think that is one of the biggest things that we need to really think about. Be aware. Pay attention to what's going on around us. It isn't necessarily a prophetic thing as much as it is a sign of the times and watching what's actually happened. So a lot of people are not aware these days just because they're not watching. Be aware. You know, what about these days? How do we categorize these days? I want you to turn with me to 2 Timothy chapter 3, verses 1 through 5. And it talks about the last days. And by the way, we've been in the last days, this biblical period, for 2,000 years. And it categorizes many of the rise and fall of empires and governments and whatever during these last 2,000 years, and definitely describes the one we're in right now. It says, "But understand this, that in the last days there will come times of difficulty, for people will be lovers themselves, lovers of money, proud, arrogant, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, heartless, unappeasable, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not lovers of good, treacherous, reckless, swollen with conceit, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having the appearance of godliness, but denying its power." Avoid these people. So it says that there will be these kinds of people, and because of these kinds of people, they will do ruthless things, and we'll all be affected by it. How are we affected by it? Food shortages, etc. You know, I am one of those that would tell you at this point, because our food chain has been interrupted and tampered with so much, and you know the prices in the stores, it is a really good idea to stock up on food. Just make sure you have some. You know, I think these are just common sense things, not necessarily prophetic things. And when the Bible describes these kinds of people, these are the people that cause food shortages, etc. They're the ones that make things difficult. And they're the ones that bring wars and rumors of wars. And they're the ones that want to succeed at your expense. Yeah. Is it something new? No, it's not. This has happened before, and many times during the last 2,000 years. But the point is, yeah, it is happening now. And we simply need to be aware and to take precaution. Anything wrong with that? No. Does it mean that you're overreacting? No, it just means you're being wise. And I think that's really important. Well, folks, I love spending this time with you. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget, you are blessed. So go and be a blessing.